Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Amanda Hallmark. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the trainer for the YDO project. For the, Your DEQ Online project, we call it YDO, but uh, you'll hear me kind of say probably both today. We are here to talk with you about the financial responsibility for underground storage tanks. And I do have some other folks on the call with me to help support. We have another trainer for the YDO project, Lindana Stewart. Patty McGovern is here to help support as one of our YDO team members who is our business analyst for land quality. And then Dave Pardue is our subject matter expert. Many of you may have worked with Dave on some things over the years. But we're all here to help support through this process of submitting your financial responsibility. The other folks I just called out will be watching the Q&A. And so let me just walk you to the next slide so we can kind of talk through what to expect. So for today, you are all muted for right now so we can get through our presentation. If you do have a question as we go, please do enter it in the Q&A module in Zoom. And then, as I said, these folks will be checking those questions, answering them along the way. They may stop me or pause me if something needs to be called out as we go through the presentation. But we will also offer some time at the end of the presentation to unmute as needed and to answer questions as we need to address things. We really do want to offer the space for you to make sure that all of your questions are answered and you feel good about using our very exciting digital system. And so please do ask those questions as they come to mind. So what we're going to be looking at today will be how to get into the Your DEQ Online system. We did offer a presentation last week on registration. If you missed that, there will be a recording posted. We also have lots of resources on our website on how to get into the Your DEQ Online system, registration process. There's videos, there's written documentation, and so there should be a lot of resources for you to get in. So I'm going to be presenting today after that point, assuming that you're all already have an account set up and you're in the system. So just a couple of reminders initially for that getting into Your DEQ Online step. What we'll mostly be talking about today is FR, or the financial responsibility submittal type in Your DEQ Online, and then offering where else you can find training or support to go through this process. And so this picture on this slide, folks, is just our login screen for the public portal for YDO. And so you can see here that once you go through that registration process, you will have created a username that you'll enter. You will have also created your own personal password that hopefully you'll be able to remember and enter in there. But if you do ever forget your password, there is a forgot password button on that login screen. And so I just wanted to call that out to folks to let you know you can take care of that all on your own. You just click that button, it'll send you an email, and you can get right back into the system. The other reminder as far as logging in or getting set up into the system is that there are different types of accounts that you'll need to set up, or you're able to set up, I should say. And so the responsible official account, or you'll hear us also refer to this with the acronym RO, this is an account type that pretty much allows you to do everything you can see in this chart that's listed out as enabled. So you're able to link your facilities that you own or operate. You're able to submit a submittal as the legal responsible official for each of those facilities. And you're also able to set up and link a consultant, which is the other account type here in the middle column. A consultant is somebody who may fill out your submittals for you on your behalf, but they are not able to actually submit and certify that submittal. And so if you are needing to submit an FR submittal type, you do need to be a responsible official to fully go through that process. But again, you are able to link someone to start filling in the form for you. And that's something that if you need to figure out how to link and how to set up a consultant account, we definitely have resources on that on our website as well. And so the other thing that I was going to call out before we really walk into the form itself is that here's that website I've been talking about. We have a specifically a underground storage tank page, and so I just wanted to show that this is where you can find the written documentation on how to submit your FR. So these are accordions, which is why I identified that you'll have to click on the How do I use your DEQ Online button first. It'll expand the accordion, and then you'll see all of our public user guides that we're offering for UST. And then you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down there. There's the financial responsibility documentation. So it's a pretty straightforward process, and as such, I will be walking through this process a couple of ways. We do have 50 minutes scheduled for today, and so I'm going to do a very fast, high-level overview of what the forms look like in my slide deck here, and then I will also launch into the platform and walk you through it as well. So you're going to be able to see it twice, and hopefully that will help you really kind of drill into your mind what's expected here. And so the first thing that you're going to do, again, folks, we're assuming at this point you have your RO account set up, you're into the system, and you're going to have your navigation bar along the left-hand side. This is just the FR form that you fill out is what we call a submittal in the Your DEQ Online system. And so that first icon that you're seeing with the arrow and the number 1 on the left-hand side, that's where you would select a new submittal. And then it's going to show you the long list of options for UST. And then so you'll scroll through. I actually don't think that this is the very top, and so this is why it's also nice for you to see, when I show you what it looks like on the live screen. But you will see one that says UST dash financial responsibility. That's what you'll want to click on. And anytime that you see these yellow plus buttons on the right-hand side here, that's an indicator that you can launch into that. You can launch into that form. And so that's what you'll want to click on next. The form is actually, as I said, pretty straightforward. And so you'll just want to link your facility information here. These are already linked to your RO account in the registration process. And so when you click that drop down that I have outlined with the red box on the caret there on the right-hand side, it's going to show you all of the options that you already have for facilities linked to your RO account. So you don't have to scroll through every single facility that we have in our DEQ database by any means. It's just what's already associated with you. And the thing that I really love about this form is that if you have multiple facilities, you can do all of them at once if they are all attached to the same FR. And so you'll select your initial facility at the top, and then you can see below there's additional facilities that you can add on there. And what I wanted to highlight here is that there's these little check boxes next to each of the facilities on your list. And those are what you'll be clicking to identify which ones you want to link. Further down the form, the next thing you're going to do is actually share that FR with DEQ. So you'll have a couple options here. This slide, I wanted to be able to identify both what all of your options are and then what the full form looks like. And so on the left-hand side, this is really just a closer look at the drop-down that you can see on the first field on the right-hand side. And so you'll be able to choose between these options when you are selecting your type of FR that you are sharing. And then based off of what you select here, the different required fields will indicate as such. And so if you are selecting, like I did in this example, a pollution liability insurance, then you will have to also include the policy number. And so you can see all 4 of the boxes here are required. If you are selecting one of the others, then that policy number will not be required, and you can just put in the other information there. You can also see something else that I will call out when we're live in the system, is that as I selected the pollution liability insurance option in that first field, there was just, you can see this yellow banner right under it that talks a little bit more about it. So we do have helper text, which is also really great with YDO, that there is helper text everywhere, just to make sure that you are on the right track and you understand exactly how to use the system correctly. So this is a better view of what the full page will look like once you're in it. You can see there's lots of tabs across the top. We have 5 specifically, and there's 3 here that you'll need to fill out. And so the basic info tab is where you selected your facility. The attachment is where you're actually now going to show that proof of financial responsibility. And so pardon my really silly example here. I actually have an air quality document in here for my example, but I work with all programs at DEQ. But this is what the attachment will look like. And you will be able to either drag and drop, or click through your file directory to select a PDF that shows your FR. And then you'll also need to select the document type. And so in this case, the proof of financial responsibility is what we want to select. The other thing I'll call out here, folks, is that there is a asterisk next to the proof of financial responsibility name. That's showing that this is actually a required field. You can see that called out here at the top of the screen in red. Anytime you see that, there is a required attachment. And then you also always want to click save, which is why I always highlight that in anything that I share. Saving just makes sure that everything is set into the system, and the system knows how to react next to what you have done. All right, so I also wanted to share this piece that I actually pulled straight from the documentation. So you will also see this if you follow through your user guide. But this is what we're looking for as far as the acceptable certificate of insurance. Is there anything here, Dave, that you wanted to call out?
Well, yes, I guess so. All of this is true and correct, and there is this set of legal language that comes from the EPA that has to be included in the certificate of insurance. And if you really want to get into the weeds, a full and complete signed copy of your policy, as long as that also meets the EPA requirements, that will work instead of the certificate of insurance. But your broker should know what a COI is, and they should be able to. It's a 2-page thing, sometimes a little bit more, and it just lists all the tanks and has that language in it. So that's what I would add.
Great, thank you. All right, so folks, we're skipping the payment and review step here because you aren't required payment for the submittal type, but it's just it's just an all-encompassing sort of thing with all of our submittals. Just some tabs we use and some tabs we don't, depending on what submittal you're doing. So what you will notice here is that in my screenshot there is an exclamation mark next to submission. There's also an exclamation mark next to attachment still. So in this example, I don't have an attachment in there yet. And so the system is saying we can't submit without these things. And so that's a really good just kind of check with the system that you've done everything you need to do to move forward. Here on this final submission page, you do have to click the checkbox next to the fact that you read and agree to the certification statement listed. There's some other disclaimers and things that we highly recommend that you read through. And then if you were to have completed everything and there was an attachment already attached to this example, then the submit button that I have with the red arrow at the very bottom of the screen would be highlighted, and you'd be able to click it and submit your FR. The system will also give you that nice feedback saying, successful. You'll get an email saying that we have received your submittal. So there are going to be checks for you that you know that you have completed completed it. But one really good check is right here in your portal. You're able to go back into your navigation. And so now you can see I've selected my submitted submittals, which is the fourth icon down in my navigation bar on the left-hand side. And this is the submittal that I've completed. And there are ways in this tab, or on this screen rather, that you can review the form that you've submitted. You can get a receipt, view the details of your submittal based off of the icons here that I've kind of blown up for you on the right. And so I will walk you through all of this a little bit more, but wanted to kind of give you the high level quick version, just so that you have an idea of what we're doing here. Before I move forward, like I said, I am going to do demo first before we open up for unmuting discussion. But I do also want to mention, because I do see that Patty's been doing a great job answering some questions in the Q&A. If you do have some concerns about your account type, or you're getting stuck on anything, you can reach out to our help desk, and they can either help troubleshoot that, or they can get you connected to somebody in the UST program who can help you. And so our help desk is always the go-to spot for you to get through any trouble that you have. The URL is listed here on the bottom of this screen, and they're also linked on pretty much every YDO page, or Your DEQ Online page that we have out there on the internet. And so with that, let me stop sharing really quick, and I will jump over to YDO.
While you're doing that, Amanda, I just want to, so Margaret, I was looking in at your account, and it looks like you may still need Alex to tie you to the UST submittal groups. But we can also help with that. If you need additional help, feel free to reach out to us. We do have a help desk. It's Your DEQ Online. They can assist with that if there's confusion around that, but we can get you sorted out.
Great. Thanks, Patty. All right, focus. And so I am now on the public dashboard in a generic training version of a UST RO account. Can I just get confirmation you guys can see my screen okay? Yes. All right. Lindana is nodding. Thanks. Thank you. And so just to kind of walk through just what we went through again. So a couple navigation tools once you're in here. You can see your account information here up on the upper right hand side. So if you ever need more information about what you've put in here, you can update your contact information and all of that good stuff. There's some other tools in here that I'd love just to call out quickly. Next to your profile, there is this timeline. This is a really good way for you to just figure out where you've been. And so you can click on that, and it'll walk you through different areas of where you might have been in the past in case you need to figure out how to get back somewhere. And then what I'm actually going to do right now, just to help you all, because the public side seems to be a lot smaller on the screen. So I'm going to actually click this toggle full screen and expand a little bit. And so that's an option for you. So the navigation menu is this up here on the upper left-hand side instead. And this icon will pop out your navigation across the left side of your panel. The other way you can toggle this is with this caret on the bottom. And so if you start to memorize the icons, great, you can keep it collapsed. If you ever forget what the icons mean, you can open it back up again. And so what I was just talking you through is this Start New Submittal button here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and you'll see the pinwheel turning, meaning it's recognizing that we are trying to get somewhere, and it's loading. Here we go. And so some things that I'll also call out here. There's always going to be some options for you that are general to everybody for submittal types or form types. If you wanted to start to search what other things that, if you are connected, I know many of you are connected to other parts of DEQ that may already be in the Your DEQ Online system. You can search here to find those. This particular account only has UST submittal, so I'm not going to drill down to any of that, but I am going to collapse this side panel, which is another great feature of YDO. I love how it always allows you to figure out just how much screen you want to see. And so I'm going to close that so you can all see this really, really clearly. Here are all of our UST forms, and the third one down here, UST financial responsibility. So let me click that plus, like I mentioned before. And in this screen, you can see the form that we've already gone through. The other thing that you can see that wasn't captured in those screenshots is the right-hand side panel. So these are like little screens that show you where you are, the submittal information that you're going to be putting in. This is also indicating which attachments are going to be required for this form. And after we attach those and finish this out, it's going to actually have links to those forms too. So it's a nice quick way for us to get that PDF version again if we wanted to click on the PDF and download it later. And I'll share that with you here as we walk through it. So again, folks, remember, this is just a test. This is just a test account. So when I click on this, select your facility caret, I have all sorts of facilities that are in here. And so I'm just gonna stick at the very top and just start selecting a couple here. So you can see that I'm just gonna select the 7-Eleven, and I'm gonna just select a separate one as well, just to have two on here. And then I'm going to scroll down to that financial responsibility mechanism section. So here's that drop down that we shared in the screenshots. And let me show you how I'm selecting pollution liability insurance, and all four of these are required. If I instead had a letter of credit, I wouldn't have a policy number, so it's not the system is no longer requiring that. But I am going to select pollution liability insurance, and I'm just going to put in my test information in here. And here is, so that would have been my policy number, and then just some dates here for when that policy is, what the dates that the policy is covering. And then be sure to always read the fine print, folks, and press that save button. So you can see now that I did get an indicator saying that submittal has been saved successfully. Also, what it did was it attached that site that I selected as my facility in that right-hand side as well. So there are just some indicators and checks as we go, showing what we're adding onto the form. Now then, we're going to move on to the second tab, attachment. So this is where it's going to be really easy once you do it. You can click on this instruction caret if you wanted to toggle that away. But there is a slight little learning curve here, because you actually have to click on something, or you can drag a file. I'm just going to open it up, and pardon me, I'm just going to pick something that I have saved in my regular work. So again, it looks like an air quality example. Sorry, folks. And I'm going to click save. And then the other thing that you might have seen, it just got mad at me because I tried to save and I didn't tell it what type of document it was yet. Now, this is where it can get a little tricky, where I just said there might be a slight learning curve. You have to click where it says click the document attachment type. If you click anywhere on this yellow banner, you see it expanded. And I can click that caret open, and then I need to select that it is my proof of financial responsibility. So now that I have all of this in here, now if I click this, what I see as a pink disc at the bottom of my screen, that's the save button. If I click that, it is now allowing me to save that. And once my pinwheel is done processing, it should show that we have added that attachment. And so my exclamation mark is now gone from that tab. So I know I've done what I need to do here, and I can move on. If you ever needed to, if you're in this form, this yellow button over the PDF is showing that I can actually click this and download the file. So if you needed to come in here and download again, there's two spots where that is popping up. There's also versioning here, and so you can see this is the first version of this document that I've added in here. I can also delete it if I need to. And so if I decided, oh man, I actually clicked the wrong file, I need to start over, I can just click that trash can button there to remove it, and I can do all of what I just did all over again. So I'm just going to jump over to that final tab now to submission. And I'm going to just say that I have read and certified the statement. And now you can see once I did that, everything else in the form has been completed. And so that submit button has turned blue and I can click it. I'm going to click save here first, just to make sure that it has identified that I've done everything I need to do. And submit. And you'll see what our confirmation looks like here. And we are in the training environment, which sometimes goes a little bit slower, so bear with me, folks. But I promise our production environment, the environment that you work out of, is much quicker. All right, so here's our submission successful. We're very excited about it. So you'll have that at the very top of your screen in green. You also have a little bit that you can review here if you needed to see what you put in. So you can click the receipt button and it will download a receipt for you. You can see who has submitted it. And you can see what attachments you did link. And then those same options that I showed you in the submitted submittals, which I will drive you to here in just a second, are also here. So if I click submittal form, it's going to open me in a new tab, and it will show you that same form we just filled out in PDF version. So if you needed a copy of that, if you needed to share that with somebody else in your agency, you're able to do that by clicking that button. So the other thing that I wanted to do was just walk you through that last slide that I shared with you, which is the submitted submittals, and show you what that looks like. So let me open up the navigation, and here is the submitted submittals section. If you were to start one and leave the screen, it would be under the pending submittal. So I'll call that out too. It will save your work and you can come back to it. But this is, you can now see the example that we had in our screenshots is already in here. And now the one that we just completed is also listed here. So you will see, you can come and you can verify here. It does say complete submittal because we have gone all the way through that process. And then our DEQ staff will take a look at it, and it does mean that it is now on our side that we're able to also view it and check you off for completing that requirement. And then finally, here are those buttons that I showed you already. So if I needed to review the form, I can do that. So this is taking us right back where we started again, folks, and you can see exactly what I had entered. So Your DEQ Online will do that quite frequently. You'll have options to go back and forth between things, which I think is super helpful because sometimes you just don't remember what you did, and you just need to be able to go back and check. And so you're able to view all the different things that you've already put in. This takes you back to that screen that we had looked at that talks about your completion. So with that, folks, that is the full process for submitting your FR. We recognize that this is an important process for underground storage tanks. All of you will need to do it at some point. So we wanted to bring this to you first before any of the other form types. But I am going to open up the discussion portion. So if any of you have questions and would like to come off mute, please raise your hand and I'll be able to enable your microphone. And then Lindana, do you see anything that we need to talk about that's come through the Q&A?
Patty's been doing a great job answering questions. There is one regarding how do I view the recording? So there's interest in watching this, and also a comment how this would make a great presentation for the National Tanks Conference in Spokane this September. So
okay,
nice job.
Great. Yeah, thanks, folks. Yeah, so let me drive you back. I happen to have the link open right now, and so this is that page that I was sharing with you for USTs in YDO. And so we have these links here on all of the other documentation that you might need to do any of our other forms, but we'll just have a link on this very page. I'm going to be getting with our web team, and we'll just add something on here. And so it should be up sometime next week, and you'll be able to point other folks back to this who may have missed it as well. That's a really good question. And then I also have the tab open, so I might as well show you if it loads. Let me just refresh it. This is the documentation that we have, and so it will walk you through all of those same steps that we just went through again. And so hopefully that will help you when you don't have to memorize what we're talking about right now. You have lots of options to look at it later. What else, folks?
I will throw out there, excuse me, that the EPA has a good document on this. It's called Dollars and Cents. And so if you just Google EPA dollars and cents, you will find it's cents in the aspect of common sense. So dollars and cents.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to get the link and put it in the chat.
Yeah, and I see, Christian, your hand's up, so I am taking you off mute. Go ahead.
Hi, thanks. Just regarding uploading the FR for multiple facilities, the process is pretty much just clicking on the drop-down of all the sites you want to create, and then that one, after you click all of them, uploading that one document is going to attach it to all those sites.
Correct.
And
Yes.
will they populate the way they did on the right side when you uploaded that first one?
Yeah. So so if you were to select all of your different sites on here, the system will know that whatever you upload on that next tab, it will be attached to each one of those facilities.
Great. Okay.
And so if I were to go in later as a DEQ staff member and look up one of these subsequent facilities, it will show that the FR is attached. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Great question. We have plenty of time, so if anyone has other questions, we're happy to answer them.
Amanda, there is another question in the chat.
Okay.
The question is this form something that can be assigned to a consultant to complete, or must it be done by the RO?
Yeah, so with all forms in YDO, you can assign it to a consultant to complete up to the submittal. So you can have them, put all of the basic information in, attach the document showing the proof of FR, and then when you get to that submittal screen, you will need to go in as the RO to actually click that click the check mark the certify and then click the submit button. So those two actions. Are there other questions? And Christian, I just lowered your hand because I assumed it was still up from earlier, but if you have another question, please do put it back up again. And give folks plenty of time to think through if they have any other questions.
There is one in chat. Can you show again where to get the PDF for today's presentation?
Yes, so here's the URL, and so and I'd be happy to send out an email to everybody who's on this call with the link. But if you come here, and this is just on our external DEQ webpage, then you will be able to find, and let me actually back you out a little bit here. So if I took you to, so you'll see a page actually that has all of our programs that are live already. And it's listed by our media areas. And so under land quality at the very bottom, because it's alphabetical, underground storage tanks, I'll click on that. And then it'll take you to this web page with The first accordion talks about that account registration piece. So if you missed that information, this will walk you through that. And then the second accordion is where you can find the PDFs that walk you through all of our different form types for USTs.
Thanks, Amanda. I don't see anything else in
Okay.
chat at this time.
Great. All right. So I will give it one more call out here. If anyone would like to raise their hand, I will. I'd be happy to unmute you. Or if you have a further question to put in the Q&A, then we'd be happy to answer that. All right. All right. I don't see anything else, so I will let everyone go. Thank you so much for joining us. You know how to find us if you have further questions. In fact, this web page that I was just showing you has a link straight to our help desk, and so that'll get you in right there. You can submit the form to answer. To ask anything or to get any troubleshooting. I did actually just see a question pop up. Let's see here. Do we enter the new COIs as they come in, or will there be prompted to do them annually or enter them annually? That sounds like a Dave question.
Yeah, I think the system is supposed to send you an annual reminder, but so should your agent. And so should you be aware of it because you'll be paying for it. And so that it should be, it should be a thing in your mind at that point. I am not 100% sure if the automatic reminders are working yet, or if I'm just making that up, which is quite possible. It was a wish at one point. I know we talked about it, and I think it was something I hoped would work. So to be continued, I guess. Safe answer is as soon as you get it from your agent, upload it. It's never going to be too early in the process. It starts when it starts and it ends when it ends. So get it in within 30 days of the expiration of your old one, regardless. And that way, you won't be in violation.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah. And Michelle, we're happy to look into if those reminders are enabled or not. It sounds like our team really wanted that feature for you, so we'll see if they were able to do that, and if not, then maybe it's something we can add for our wish list for the future. Is there anything else that I can help guide you through? Carrie, okay, you should be able to unmute.
Hey, so I'm a consultant for my RO's account, and he's added me to financial responsibility, but I was
Okay.
just I'm on DEQ Online right now and
Yeah.
realized that even though my RO has added financial responsibility to me, there's no sites listed in the drop-down menu. Is that an
Okay.
error on my part, or does he need to go in and link his sites now to him?
It's the latter, yeah. And so your RO will need to go in. So there's two steps in the linking process. The first
Okay.
is to link you to the submittal, the form types, and the second is which facilities or sites you can fill out that form for.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and so there's just one more step your RO will need to do, and then you should be good to go.
Thank you so much. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to go to him and say like, "Hey, you have more work," and then it turns out it was my mistake.
Yeah,
Awesome.
gotcha.
Thank you.
Sure. What else, everybody? We still have 10 more minutes scheduled. I'm happy to let you all go early. So if you don't have another question, you're welcome to jump off. But this is a really great time just to get that question that you've been wondering about with your DEQ Online. We're happy to either answer it now or take it back to our team to get you an answer. Okay. I'm not seeing any more pop up, so I will officially call it here. Again, feel free to reach out to our help desk if you need anything, and I will be working on getting this recording posted for you all in the next couple of business days, so sometime early next week. It should be up. And with that, I will call it a good day to everybody. I hope you have a great afternoon. And we'll hopefully be able to schedule more of these if you have more needs. So please let us know if there are particular forms you need help with. Thanks,
Amanda.
everybody.
Great job.